Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's football show. It is Thursday. I'm delighted that you could join us. I'm Peter Martin, and alongside me, Alan Ruff and Gordon Smith. They are here to talk football, and of course, the Scottish Cup final is looming ever closer. Scottish Cup final to talk about. Celtic against Hearts on the way. Just a quick little bit of news, as you can see there from the headlines, Ruffy. It's Alec Dyer as number 2 at Scotland. He'll continue his role as number 2 at Kilmarnock as well.
Yep, we all thought that would be the case. You know, obviously Stevie Clarke's been working with him for the last couple of years. They get a good relationship, and it's always good to have somebody like that you can bounce off. You know, it could be his best pal as well. I mean, that's why we're here. We're your best pal, you know. You don't want people here that's not going to be against you, then, lad.
Yeah,
right behind you. So, no, it's a comfort zone. It's a comfort zone.
He's such a noise up.
That's why, you know, managers do that. And it's not just him, most managers do that.
Yeah, so if you got the Scotland job, would you take Ruffy?
I think Ruffy's probably got a good shout ahead of me. But the good thing is, I know Ruffy. I've known him for such a long time now that I know for a certain that he definitely wouldn't be taking me with him when he got the job. In fact, he'd probably take the assistant's role as well, just so he could get double salary. Anyway, it's an interesting one because back at Kilmarnock, a new manager would have to take Alec Dyer. That's an interesting situation.
Right. You know, they might put a situation, and you know, it's like sometimes a manager does want their own assistant, and if he comes into the club, he might say, you know, I'll take the job provided I can bring my guy in. And if Kilmarnock are saying no, you have to agree to this, it'll be an interesting one to see where that takes it. But the problem is the reason that Steve Clarke can't take him into the SFA as assistant, because the assistants and the people who work along with the manager do not get paid. They're not on a contract. All they do is get paid a game-by-game basis. They turn up. I remember I was talking to James McFadden, and he was a little bit upset about it because although Alec McLeish was getting compensation for losing his job, he's one of the coaches, and Peter Grant was another one. They were just told they were finished. That was them. There was no financial help for them. Yeah. So if they're not in a job, there's nothing they can do. So at least Alec Dyer would stay at Kilmarnock and you'd still be in employment, you know.
Yeah. Okay. What about the Player of the Year for Ladbrokes? They've announced the Premiership Player of the Year is James Forrest. It's a triple whammy for him. He's got the treble, Ruffy. He's got the Football Writers Player of the Year award, which he picked up on Sunday. The PFA Player of the Year award as well, and now this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. In the space of the year, there were moments, you know, when he was the most outstanding player on go. But I don't think for the whole season he was. I think we could pick players at parts of the season. Alan McGregor was big for me from, say, August to December, January. You know, fantastic. He would have been my shout.
Maybe November.
Yeah, and then there's obviously James Forrest in and out. You know, Morales obviously, unfortunately, with the sendings off, took the shine off of him. So for me, there wasn't a standout like the years before where we had Scott Brown winning it hands down, you know, with Sinclair winning it hands down, you know, Tierney winning it. There wasn't that kind of candidate out there for me, but obviously James has had a good season and he's obviously got a big game.
I think Ryan Christie was unlucky that he got injured as well. So I think he was having a really good season because he'd come in there and established himself in the Celtic team, and I thought made them better with his presence there. But I think James Forrest has had a good season. There's no doubt about it. He's had some excellent games, winning games. But I thought overall, generally, Callum McGregor had a better season than James Forrest, was more outstanding. James Forrest had obviously the international side of things as well, where you get the 5 goals in the 2 games, and you get the journalist recognition for that as well, International Player of the Year. Yeah. But I thought Callum McGregor had a better season all round.
Yeah, probably. I think the general consensus, not one outstanding candidate that could have nabbed it. Alfredo Morelos, for me, deserved a mention for 29 goals. I thought he would have got it, but wasn't to be. Good luck to James. Congratulations to him. He gets all 3 awards. I'll tell you, talking about celebrating, Karamoka Dembele would be celebrating if he suddenly found himself in the squad for the Scottish Cup final. Neil Lennon actually quotes from the Celtic TV interview, Ruffy, suggests that he's training this week, he's fit, he's available, he's certainly put himself forward for selection for the squad. I said after the game his natural football instincts and his intelligence are of a very high order. So to come in at 16 and have a debut like that was pretty spectacular, very mature. I've no hesitation in bringing him into the squad this week. He's had a good season with the development team, and I think all the first team players are aware of his capabilities as well. Is that just too young, or is he?
No, I think you read out there, selected for the squad. I think selected for the squad would be a massive boost for the young man, to be part of a squad. Whether he's on the bench, I just think that other experienced players would demand that they're on the bench, or command to be on the bench, because it could be a game, it might be a game that's tight, and at the end of the day you're going to have to look at that bench and see who's on it, and if it's a young 16-year-old, that you're looking for to turn the game, it's a big ask just for the player as well.
Yeah,
I think you're right, because I think you're looking at, there's been say 18 players will be in the squad that's playing and change for the game, and I think maybe he's with the squad just now. There's maybe 22 players training together, so he's with the squad for the cup final. But I'm like Ruffy, I'm not so sure he'll be on the bench, because I think other people are more deserved of a place if they've actually contributed a lot in the league as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of players who'll be saying goodbye to Celtic who may well feel worthy of a place on that bench. But listen, the manager makes those decisions. Scott Sinclair's certainly been impressed with Karamoka Dembele.
It's exciting times, and as a young player coming through, I think you just want to get on that pitch in front of these fans. They give him an amazing reception when he come on, and that give him a lot of confidence. And he's been working hard, and hopefully it just continues what he's doing.
Yeah, I think everybody, more or less, apart from the side issue of Dembele, are now talking, Gordon, about Saturday as this treble. I know the manager's trying to keep everybody focused just on the game.
I think so. I mean, it's such a big game. I think that the pressure is on Celtic, because it would be a momentous occasion if they win the cup to get the treble again, and 3 trebles in a row. They're the favourites for the game without doubt. They'll be the team that's under pressure. Hearts can actually go and relax a little bit, because no one gives them a chance really. A few Hearts fans might, but in general, most of the public and the neutrals will be saying Celtic should win this game.
Yeah.
But as I say, you never know with cup finals. I mean, even the biggest shock, the FA Cup final was a shock. I thought Watford would give a much better performance than they gave.
What was that shock that they didn't? Was it a shock that they didn't give them a better game?
Yes, that was a shock for me. I thought Man City will win, but it'll be tight. Now Hearts, I think it depends. On Saturday, I think one of these things. I do believe Hearts will need to get the first goal in the match on Saturday. I think only then, because then I think they'll sit in and they'll defend. They'll make it very tight for Celtic, and getting that first goal would be their best chance. But if Celtic score first, I don't see any way for them.
Yeah, well, it's difficult enough to win the Scottish Cup, but to win all 3 again in a treble, it's not easy, according to Scott Sinclair.
I think there's always going to be criticism, no matter where you are, what team you're at. But if it was that easy, the team would have done it before, and it just goes to show that it is tough because no one has done it. So that just goes to show, really.
Now everybody's talking about Celtic, Robbie. If I was Craig Levein, I'd go into the dressing room and say to them, look, they're all talking about them lifting the cup. Go out there, leave nothing else but every ounce of energy you've got on that park. Be physical with them, rough them up, noise them up, try and knock them out of their stride to create a little bit of history for yourself.
Yeah, well, I know it's not Tynecastle, but the first thing I'd be doing, I'd be showing them the video of the game at Tynecastle and the reason why they won that game against Celtic, and I'd let them watch it 2 or 3 times, because that is the message. That's the only way you can stop Celtic, is getting in their faces, making them tight to them, big players, stopping them from play. There are 3 or 4 players on that side you've got to stop, and if you can do that, and obviously the Hearts players step up their game a wee bit, because let's not forget, they've not won a game in 7, so their confidence must be low as well. But as Gordon says, they're going into the game, there's no pressure on them.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be sitting in that dressing room going, everybody thinks we're going to lose here. Let's just go out and relax and see what we can get out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, can Hearts cause an upset? I wonder if Craig Levein will deliver one of those inspirational speeches or might even show them a movie. I wonder what movie you would show the Hearts players to try and inspire them to produce something heroic over 90 minutes. Ruffy's already got his thinking cap on. We'll have a look at the quiz and ask him in a minute. Ruffy, I've had a think about this. I think maybe John Wick 3 on the basis that it is a treble Celtic are going for. You're up against it, and when the odds are against you, you just wipe out everything that moves.
There's one film I don't think you should be showing them.
Yeah.
It's Titanic.
Yeah. Strangely enough, I think actually, I can't remember. I mean, Braveheart was clearly a movie that they were going to show any team to try and inspire them. It's just, are you inspired by things like that, Gordon? Do you need to be lifted by that? Do you like a manager suddenly to make you feel as if you want to give that extra ounce?
Not really. I just feel that the game itself lifts you. You know, it's a cup final.
Yeah.
It's a marvellous thing. The main thing you got to do about it is have a belief that you're there not just to enjoy the occasion. I think I've seen that in the past, players saying, oh, I can't wait to play in the cup final, rather than say, I can't wait to win the cup. You've got to have that in your mind. You've got to have, your desire has to be to win the cup as opposed to just playing in the final.
Yeah, well, Aaron Hughes said he'd swap everything in the career just to get that little bit of silverware.
Yeah.
I think that desire will rub off in some people, because the one thing I have, in my head about this from a Hearts perspective is, these moments don't come round regularly. I think Stephen Presley was talking about the fact that when you actually play in a cup final for Hearts, winning it with them is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Playing for Celtic in a cup final, he said it was expected and it was flat after winning against Dunfermline.
There is a degree of that, because I felt there would be more of a celebration when I won the first one, because it was so special to me. It meant a lot to me, but it didn't mean as much to the club as such, because it was just another competition won, and they've won so many in the past. You're absolutely right with that factor. That the fans still enjoy it. If Rangers are to win a trophy now, there'd be a much more of a celebration because of the years they've had without winning anything.
Yes.
But Celtic, as you say, this is 9 trophies in a row. You just wonder how they're going to celebrate that. I think there will be a celebration because it's historical as well, I suppose, to give it. The Hearts players would enjoy it even more if they win this, no doubt.
The one thing about it is Edinburgh, maroon and white, they will have the bus parade, the lot. Whether there's going to be a bus parade for Celtic, it certainly won't be when the Pro 16 finals near Celtic Park. That's still to be determined. Ruffy, when you were a player, obviously you were an up-and-coming, a rising star at Partick Thistle. Everybody thought you were going to go into bigger and better things, but for a few managers who stopped you doing that. But you won the League Cup. Was there a sense in there, as a youngster, you thought, I'll win more of these things? Yeah,
but you always want to be a winner. There's no point in playing football if you don't want to win things, But in that game, obviously, we went in, as underdogs. There wasn't a lot of pressure. But as Gordon said, he's won a lot of cup finals. My immediate reaction was when the final whistle went, can we do it again? Because it just goes like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every minute of the 90 minutes just flies by, and you want to rewind the win. And I suppose you don't want to rewind it if you get beat. But
yours was an incredible win, though. I mean, to beat a Celtic team so comfortably that were massive favourites, and they were on their 9 in a row run at the time. It was a great win.
Oh, it was phenomenal. But the only downside to that, Ruffy, was the after-match party where Ruffy thought a black dicky bow and some kind of purple shirt and a grey jacket would all go together in some kind of mishmash from the 70s. But it didn't work out. Listen, the great thing about now, Gordon, is there's all sorts of little teasers coming in for clubs about who they could potentially be signing. Sheyi Ojo from Liverpool, another possible loan deal there for Rangers. It's clearly Steven Gerrard, with the money that he knows he's going to get, he's still trying to tinker and beg, steal and borrow in other areas to maybe come up with another gem like Ryan Kent.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's got the connections. That's the thing about it. He's got the Liverpool connection there, and he can get players along. You know, he'll be speaking to them saying, "Oh, this player's a real talent. What are you going to do with him?" And they say, "Well, we want to put him out on loan," as most of them want to do. So therefore, he'll have first choice probably on the ones that are the most talent. So this might be somebody that just fits in. Maybe a squad player, but maybe somebody who could play regularly, like Ryan Kent became. I think he went from being basically a squad player to start with, because Murphy was the main person in there to start with in that position. But Ryan Kent came in and he got himself established. So that we want to do the same with this kid too.
Okay, this next question is kind of a double-edged for you guys. It's, I mean, listen, we'll not deal in probability. Let's deal in your opinion on this one. Dundee United against St Mirren, first leg tonight. Alan Stubbs and Owen Coyle were out chatting about it. Alan Stubbs was fairly scathing in his assessment of St Mirren. You know, at the start he was given 4 games, bulleted. In came, eventually Oran Kearney. They're still facing relegation, and I think he was critical of Tony Fitzpatrick for saying they wanted to finish in the top half of the table. I think maybe some of the St Mirren people get a little over-enthusiastic because of what Jack Ross had achieved.
Yeah, but I think everybody in the bottom 6 would say to their supporters, we want to be in the top 6. You know, it'd be negative to say they weren't. They wouldn't have been positive. That whether they believe that or not is another thing. But Alan, when he went in there, decided there was a certain number of players he didn't think were good enough to get into that top 6. So he put them out the door and he brought more players in. For me, when you do that, 4 games is definitely not enough to find out where you're going in a season.
And he'd won 2 or 3 League Cup games. I found it a strange decision, Gordon.
He definitely did lose. He lost the board or whoever was in charge there, because, as you say, he'd only played a few games, only 4, as Ruffy said, and already was put out. I think they felt, I mean, the word I was getting with some of them was they were saying some of these players just aren't up to it. You know, they're not of a standard that they need. So that went against Alan Stubbs too.
St Mirren are a club, though, over the last, 5, 6, 7 years, where sometimes within the dressing room there are people who have a certain seniority in their opinion. And then I think the board allow themselves to listen to certain fans and people swaying their opinion on it. When really you need somebody who's a board, who's a leader as a chairman, and this is where we're going, we're going to back him. We appointed him, give him a chance.
I think but he's being critical, I think, because what he said was Tony Fitzpatrick made it very clear, openly saying we want to be top 6. But I think Alan Stubbs is saying, well, you know, he shouldn't be coming open with it. But Tony is a great guy. Tony was just more or less saying this is where the club club can go. They avoided relegation the year before and got up to the Premier League. It would be success. If they stay up this year, this has turned out to be a good season, and it will be turned out to be a good change of management they've had too.
Do you see them winning over 2 legs against Dundee United?
I think they can. I think Dundee United are a good team. We've got a lot of good players, but I think St Mirren, over 2 legs, I think that St Mirren can do it. The main thing they need to get tonight is a good result. They need to get a draw, I think, tonight.
You going for St Mirren?
I think St Mirren can stay up.
Yeah, I think St Mirren have just hit a wee bit of form at the right time. Dundee United's defence is vulnerable. Tonight's result will be a big one.
Okay, I'm going to go for Dundee United.
Are you right? Okay.
Dundee United can sneak it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Dundee United do, but I just think if looking at the 2 teams just now, I would say the sort of form, as Ruffy said, the form St Mirren are in, they've been pretty consistent of late, and they did well. They beat Hamilton when they had to. They beat Dundee in the last game, coming back when they were losing. So I just think that they've got a good feeling about themselves at the moment. Okay,
19 years. Craig Thompson decided to retire. I think he's been one of Scotland's better referees over those 19 years. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I think most of the big games that he's got have run pretty smoothly. There have been a couple that haven't, but what referee hasn't made a decision he's regretted. But no. And is he going to be part of this? Is he part of Saturday's Cup final?
as a farewell, maybe fourth official or something like that.
Not as far
I
as I
don't know
know.
if that's the case.
Don't think so.
I thought
No.
that's what they used to do. I think they used to,
Yeah.
you know, if a referee was retiring, he
Give
would
them
be
the
part
farewell.
of the big.
Yeah.
But no, I think he's been super and
Yeah.
a good representative in European football as well.
And a thoroughly decent bloke, I have to say.
Yeah.
You know, I've played in games where he's been the referee, Gordon, and he's been great because you can have a chat with him.
Yes, absolutely. I think he is a good character too. That's not always something that you have. I was making a joke the other night. I said, we're talking about VAR. I said there was VAR when I played as well. There was very arrogant referees.
Yeah.
You know, and there were one or two of them like that. You couldn't talk to them.
Yeah, you should do after dinner, Gordon. You're spoiled in here. Just on a footnote, Ruffy, of course, the Scotland's 42 senior clubs, £9 million in an interim payout. That money is invaluable to them. Anywhere from Celtic getting £2 million for winning the Premiership to, just under 7,000 for Berwick Rangers.
Yep, I told you a couple of weeks ago that the lower half of the divisions aren't happy with the way the money is distributed for the good of Scottish football, but that's to come later.
Yeah. Oh, there you are. Right in the last couple of seconds, Ruffy tells us there's a war on the way. That's absolutely fantastic. Okay, don't forget to join us for that show when Ruffy explains why there's not enough money in the lower leagues. So there's a bit of unrest.
Yeah, I think there is. Just the distribution, you know, the teams who come out of the division obviously don't get as much money as the ones who go up.
Okay, there you are. And there you have it in a nutshell. That will lead the back pages or the second back pages if it's a quiet day. Nevertheless, well done to you, Ruffy. He's raging now because he's revealed that. Thanks to Gordon Smith. Thanks to Ruffy. Join us tomorrow for our finale to the season. Thanks for watching.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.